Not wrong. Criticism is actually a badge of honor. In my business, criticism equals popular. You have to watch somebody to criticize them. I mean, Jeremy Grant's a good player. He plays for the awful Pistons. He could use some criticism. Nobody knows who he is. Does he have a shoe deal? Jeremy Grant needs me to talk about him, Skip to talk about him, Joy to talk about him for like 4 weeks. He'd probably get a shoe deal. The difference today with criticism, of course, it comes from so many different angles. It used to be you had a roof and there'd be a little leak, and you could just plug the leak. It was the local columnist. Sam Smith in Chicago would criticize Jordan, and Jordan would be like, I'm not going to talk to him anymore, and he'd plug the leak. Now the roof has like 38 leaks. You stop one, there's another one. There's Twitter criticism. There's Instagram criticism. There's Snapchat criticism. There's cable TV guys like me talking or Joy talking criticism. There's the local columnist and the beat reporter criticism. There's sports talk radio. Michael Jordan wasn't really in an era of sports talk radio, so fans are ripping you and you hear it driving to the arena. That's the difference. The roof has a lot more leaks now, and you just can't plug them up. So, yeah, it comes from a lot of different angles. Now, of course, there is resolution to this. Put the phone down and read. But there was a man, I didn't know him personally. He was a poet, a playwright in London. His name was Oscar Wilde. And he was very good with words. And Oscar Wilde used to have a saying, the only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. Paul George has commercials and shoe deals and all that stuff, and he's making money on social and all that stuff, and that's because he's relevant. Criticism is relevance. You watch these NBA playoff games, Chris Paul's on every third commercial. Chris Paul's been dogged by everybody for 7 years. You've been hammering Chris Paul nonstop for years. He's on every commercial. It's a badge of honor. If you're getting talked, Jeremy Grant's not getting talked about. He's a good player. Paul's a really good player. He's talked about all the time. You're going to notice the guys getting talked about in this league have shoe deals or huge social media followings. Look up Oscar Wilde. He had it right. In London, years ago, the poet had it right. All right. Dak Prescott saying things about the Cowboys. That's some good stuff today. Oh, boy, Donovan Mitchell trade rumors. Donovan Mitchell trade rumors, Jazz. Here we go. Nobody wants to play in Utah, right? I always hear that. Jump into the easy, breezy sleep of Casper and all their great products for cool summer sleep. Their cooling mattresses, snow technology, crisp new sheets. Right now, their 4th of July sale is here, celebrating the bed, white and blue, with up to 30% off bundles, mattresses, and more for a limited time. Treat yourself to better sleep. You deserve it. U.S. News and World Report called the Wave Hybrid the best overall mattress in the country. Enjoy their best products at a great price in their best-selling bundle. The bundle includes from Casper 1 original mattress, 1 foundation, and 1 waterproof mattress protector. As always, Casper has free shipping and free returns. Limited time, jump on it now. 30% off bundles, mattresses, and baby, a lot of stuff to talk about. Live in L.A., it's called The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, and FS1. The Herd brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. It's sub day here on the show. Joy Taylor, how are you?
I'm doing great. What a wild NBA postseason this has been.
Well, everybody's talking about injuries. I was driving in this morning, and every show, these injuries are ruining everything. So I want to start with that. Is that where you are at 40, 45 years old, you've earned it. 20s, blame your parents. Teens, blame your parents. 30s, blame your boss. 33, blame the government. We like to do that. But by 40, 45 years old, you're where you should be. You've had too many opportunities, too many choices. I was watching something not long ago. Don Lemon was interviewing the great Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman grew up in a very, very small town, a very poor town. And Don Lemon said, "You're a great story, but not everybody can do what you can do, Morgan." And Morgan Freeman said, "Bull blank. Takes courage. The bus leaves town every day. Get on it." I like that. Bus leaves town. I got on the bus. Joy got on the bus. We got on the bus. Leaves town every day. Takes courage to get on that. And then it's your life. Everybody blames injuries. Tell me how the playoffs are different today with injuries. Well, I mean, Giannis got hurt. The Bucks had scored 38 points at half when Giannis was healthy. Well, Colin, the Suns, well, they were the number 2 seed in the West. They played together, so they have this great chemistry. Well, it's not a surprise there. Well, what about the Clippers? Kawhi Leonard's injury. Well, time out. Kawhi Leonard's in and out of the lineup for everybody he plays for. And by the way, even when Kawhi played and Paul George played this year, what were they bad at? The end of games. This is who the Clippers are. They fall behind. They're inconsistent. Kawhi is hurt. Well, what about the Utah Jazz in the West? Number 1 seed. So what? Number 1 seed doesn't mean you're the best team. Donovan Mitchell was hurt and still played. He was still their best player. And oh, by the way, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, last 2 All-Stars picked. Meaning, of all the All-Stars, they're lower-end All-Stars in the eyes of All-Stars. Plus, they can't defend the wing. Good God, Terrence Mann ate them alive. Joy and I have been saying this for years. They can't defend the wing. So they'll never beat the LeBrons or the Paul George or the Kawhis. We knew that with Utah. They can't defend the wing. And in the West, you can't defend the wing. You're done. You're not going to win the conference championship. Well, what about the Lakers? Well, what about him? Anthony Davis came into the season out of shape. He tried to play his way into shape, and he got hurt, which, it's Anthony Davis. He's always hurt. Are you going to tell me that's a condensed season? He's the one that was out of shape. Not everybody came in out of shape. AD did. And LeBron's getting old. He gets hurt more. The West is what the West should be. The Suns, a team that played, all their best players played almost all the games. That's why their chemistry is so great. That's why they're so great late in games. And the Clippers, well, they're in the conference finals, with or without Kawhi. And he's always missing. Well, let's go to the East now. I forgot Denver. Jamal Murray's injury. All right, it's an injury. They were swept by Phoenix. You're going to tell me if they had Jamal Murray, they would have won? They couldn't win a game without Jamal Murray. Since when has Denver roared into the finals in any year? So let's go to the East. Well, Joel Embiid got hurt. No, the Sixers were exactly what they've been for 3 years. Simmons can't shoot. They're not good at the end of games because of that. And Embiid has some partial injury. That's their story for the last 4 years. All right, what about the Celtics? Jaylen Brown's injury. They were a 7 seed all year long. All year long, they were inconsistent. I mean, there was topics on this show regularly. Is Brad Stevens going to get fired? And that was a topic all year. What about the Knicks? They didn't have any injuries. What about the Heat? They weren't that good. That's not an injury thing. That's a not that good thing. The number 1 team in the playoffs that has the condensed schedule, injuries are really the key, is Brooklyn. Oh, wait, Kyrie and Kevin Durant's legacies are they're hurt a lot. So you're going to blame that on the condensed schedule. Well, what about James Harden? Okay, I'm going to be nice here, but he came into the season fat because he wanted out of Houston. He didn't work out. And so he came into the season not ready to perform, and like AD, had to play himself into shape, and that's hard. And so for the first time in his career, he usually comes into seasons